Title of my speech, Make Your Mark, Not Just With Your Handprint. Any routine becomes old and boring. Doing the same thing over and over again just is redundant and one becomes sick of it. But ultimately, the only one in control of this routine is you. I mean, you have to get up and go to school, especially if you want to go to prom. If you have a job, go to work. If you play a sport, go to practices and games. But you have all control of your attitude and effort while doing these things. I'm a big believer in don't do anything unless it's fun. So create a fun, enjoyable routine that causes the least amount of stress and negative attitude. Another way to say all this is make the most of your time, because obviously these past 4 years flew by, and that means life will too. Make a reason for the school and anything you ever get involved in to remember you in some way. With that said, do everything with a purpose and do it to 110% of your ability. You have complete control of how your future will turn out. So high school in general, it's definitely a time of transformation. We make mistakes, we learn from them, we observe others and learn from their mistakes. We start to grow physically and mentally, ultimately maturing, and it's all a lot to handle. Especially because school essentially becomes more challenging, depending on how you set yourself up. But overall, it's going to be more work than what you were used to, and you just have to accept it. So freshman year, as you guys have heard, coming from a small Catholic school, I came from St. Gabe's, is definitely hard, but also interesting and beneficial for the future. I feel like it's almost like a preview of college, since you don't really know a lot of people coming in, and you learn to make friends, and I think it was just a really good thing. So sports have always been a big part of my life. I played softball, basketball, and volleyball growing up. I always went back and forth about which one was my favorite, and my answer depended a lot on which season I was in at the time. But at first, I hated volleyball so much. I would give my mom so much trouble about going to practices and games. I just didn't like it at all. And it's just ironic because it ended up being my favorite, and I'm gonna end up playing there this fall at W&J. But going back with basketball, we won the Pennsylvania State title my 7th grade year at St. Gabe's, and we went back in 8th grade to compete in the same tournament, but we finished 3rd that year. Softball was always a fun spring-summer sport for me. It took up my whole summer for many years. And then coming up to the high school, I was a starting center fielder my freshman, sophomore, and junior year for the varsity team. My freshman year, I made the first team all-section team, and sophomore, I made the second team. But throughout high school, for sure, the most highlighted part was volleyball. I've made the best friends through this opportunity, along with being so successful. I truly am blessed to have accomplished what we did these past 2 years with the program. I was a starting setter on the varsity team since my sophomore year. There, I developed many leadership skills. By far, I think we've had the best coaches around to lead us to our victories, and we all love them so much. So 2 identical back-to-back undefeated seasons is really not hard to describe at all, as most people say. It was just simply so much fun, and it shows you that hard work truly pays off. With my 2 gold medals and rings, I look forward to looking back and smiling at these accomplishments in high school in general, in years to come, to remember the dedication, hard work, and fun that came along with it. And through playing such a vital role on both the volleyball and softball teams, I was also awarded a couple other recognitions throughout high school. I was named to the All-State team this past year for volleyball, and also the second team all-section. Last year, I was awarded the Highlander Pride Award for leadership, and I was nominated for the Pittsburgh Positive Athlete Award by my softball coach, and also nominated for the Wendy's Heisman's Athletic Award by Mr. Saris. So overall, as I said, I find it truly to be a blessing of how successful the sports teams I've been a part of were, and that is definitely how I've made my mark here at Baldwin. But this certainly is not the only way you can do that. There are many, many ways, and it's up to you how you do it. So to conclude, I've enjoyed these past 4 years of high school and will cherish the memories and friendships I've made here for a lifetime. I want to thank everyone who has been a part of my experience and hope nothing but the absolute best for all of you in your future endeavors. Remember, wherever you go, make your mark.